The honourable member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Your most important job is probably your first job because it starts you on the road to your career. But after 10 years of Liberal failures, that road is blocked for 1 in 7 Canadian young people. This is already an unemployment crisis, with 100,000 more job losses coming. Now, rather than address this crisis, these Liberals continue to waste billions on consultants, a $6 billion increase. Why are they choosing a great job market for elite Liberal insiders and consultants and a terrible job market for Canadian young people?
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, I share the member opposite's deep and profound concern to ensure that Canadian young people get opportunities across this country, especially in their first job. And that's why it's so exciting that Canada Summer Jobs will provide almost 70,000 jobs this summer. Great first-time jobs for young people all across the country. These are quality employers, quality jobs, and I look forward to hearing about them in my own riding.
The honourable member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Mr. Speaker, that minister has sat around the cabinet table for more than 10 years, and unemployment is steadily going up. It's actually at the highest point it's been in 10 years outside of the COVID period. We have an unemployment crisis, and Liberals are making things worse with another outrageous spending bill. This Prime Minister wants to spend even more than Justin Trudeau. So how can they ask Parliament for another $400 billion blank check with no budget, no plan for jobs, no plan to address the pain that their policies have caused?
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we hear the member opposite talking out of both sides of his mouth. At one side, he's talking about the need to do something about unemployment, to do something about youth having excellent experiences in the workforce. And on the other side, he's talking about the need to reduce spending. And in fact, Mr. Speaker, we know that we can actually do big things together. That's what employers want across the country, Mr. Speaker. They want skilled workers all across this country in every sector. We'll be there with the provinces and territories to make sure we have the fastest growing economy in the G7.
The honourable member for Brandon Souris.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. This week, the Prime Minister introduced his first spending bill, and despite promising to cap spending during the election, the bill increases spending by another 8% on an already bloated federal government. $500 billion in spending, introduced the same day as he promised again to cap it, all with no budget and on the backs of hardworking Canadians and at the expense of future generations. When will these Liberals finally cap spending and put the financial future of young Canadians first? Will the Prime Minister give us the date for a spring budget today?
The Honourable Minister of Finance and National Revenue.
I'd like to welcome the member to the House of Commons, but one thing, Mr. Speaker, it's clear, we have the back of young Canadians. If the member was listening carefully, he would have seen that in the very first motion we introduced in this House was the elimination of the GST for first-time home buyers, Mr. Speaker, for their first house. This is a measure to help young Canadians to get into the real estate market, Mr. Speaker. The young Canadians who are watching us at home understand we have their back and we will always work for them, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Northumberland, Clark.
Mr. Speaker, on April 5th, 17th, 20th, 21st, and 29th, the Prime Minister committed to, and I quote, free trade in Canada by Canada Day. However, almost immediately after the election, the Prime Minister already broke his promise, saying instead they would only introduce legislation to eliminate federal interprovincial trade barriers by Canada Day. Simple question, why did the Prime Minister mislead Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of Transport and Internal Trade.
I am really delighted to get a question on internal trade from the Conservatives. We don't agree about a lot of things, but I think everyone in the Conservative Party and in the Liberal Party agrees that free trade in Canada will make us all richer. And that is why I have a question for my Conservative counterparts. Will the Conservatives vote for our free trade in Canada by Canada Day legislation? We're counting on you. Canadians are counting on you.
The honourable member for Mission, Matsqui, Abbotsford.
Mr. Speaker, small businesses are struggling with the complexity and obscurity of the customs notice
For a government program that was designed to help businesses, the CBSA is causing turmoil, time and money for many in manufacturing and its supply chains. On May 20th, the department quietly issued an updated notice on its interpretation of the scope, narrowing the order. Why, in this time of uncertainty, should businesses be left to navigate costly and consequential red tape from this government? Don't they understand that livelihoods and Canadian businesses are on the line?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague opposite for this question. He has brought this to my attention a couple of days ago, and we are looking into this situation, and I will look forward to responding to him in the next couple of days. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
L'honorable député de
The Honourable Member for Berthier-Masquinongé. Mr. Speaker, even under their new leader, the Liberals are spending way too much. The Prime Minister promised that he would limit the increase in spending to 2% a year, but instead we're hearing that actually he's going to raise spending by 8% this year, and that's before the tax cuts and nearly $2 billion in new spending that he wants to pass this session. It's very disturbing to bring in these measures without even giving us a clear picture of the public finances. Will this Prime Minister table a budget instead of governing exactly like Justin Trudeau did? The Honourable Minister of Finance and National Revenue. Mr. Speaker, I have a great deal of respect for my colleague for Berthier-Masquinongé, as he knows. But it's surprising to hear that the Bloc Québécois is against a measure that will help people in his own riding. We just tabled a motion in this House to cut taxes for 22 million Canadians. That could be up to $840 for a two-income household. This will be great for people in Berthier-Masquinongé, and people in that riding are expecting their MP to be there for them and to vote in favor of this measure. The Honourable Member for Berthier-Masquinongé. Mr. Speaker, people in Saint-Maurice-Champlain are expecting this member to table a budget. It's a little bit like this Prime Minister looked at the Trudeau spending and said, just watch me. In fact, we can only expect him to show up in this House wearing Adidas sneakers. This Prime Minister is showing that he simply intends to be the fourth edition of the same old Liberal government. Once again, he's trying to make people believe that they can keep spending while reducing taxes and somehow without increasing the debt. Well, let them then show us how they plan to do that. Let them table a budget. The Honourable Minister. Well, this gives me an opportunity to thank the voters in Saint-Maurice-Champlain who have sent me here for a fourth consecutive mandate, and I will fulfill my mandate with humility and conviction. And indeed, we will be proposing a budget in the fall very soon. It will be an ambitious yet prudent budget, which will enable us to build the Canada of tomorrow. That's exactly what Canadians expect from us, that we build a strong economy, the strongest in the G7, a resilient, strong Canada.